was my longest friend. He was my backbone. And as I was trying to understand how adulting works, he was there. As I was just trying to understand life, he was always there. He was always someone to talk to, always someone to lean on. Anything I had a question on, he always had the answer. But as a child, though, I remember him more as an enforcer. If I didn't feel like doing something, he would say, "Excuses are the tools of the incompetent, used to build monuments of nothingness." And he would repeat that so many times, and I had no idea where it came from until I went to college, and I had friends who were pledging with him, and I was like, oh, that's where that came from. But it always stuck to me, like, why did that stick with him? I mean, it seemed like there was a lot to memorize, but why was that the thing that he kept on saying for 50 plus years? And I think that spoke to my dad's character, right? He thought that no matter what, he was there for everything. He took us on vacations not because he wanted to go see it, although I think a lot of it he wanted to go see, but he wanted us to have experiences that he didn't have growing up. And that's, as I realized as I got older, that was his main priority, was making sure that my grandmother, his mother, worked very hard for us to have. I came to realize that he was a lot different from other fathers I had interacted with. And as I sit here talking to you, and I know my thoughts are all over the place, I tried to write them down, but it didn't work out. I think at the end of the day, I knew that my father loved us with all of his heart, and I loved him with all of my heart, and we all did. And I think that is something that gives me peace, that even though he left suddenly, that was never a question. And as I tried to think about this and wrap my head around it and just process what happened, I want to speak from a place of gratitude. As I look at my support system and friends that have also lost parents, they didn't have 30 years. They didn't have the chance to travel. They didn't have the chance to just rely on them. And I'm thankful for that, because I didn't have to have that. And I'm thankful for God for giving me that. And I'm so thankful. So although there are times that he will physically not be a part of, there are times that I can remember for our graduations, our family vacations, our jokes, our conversations, and that I just remember with an intense amount of gratitude. And I just also want to say thank you to everyone here and everyone that was a part of his life, because he didn't become a boy to this man that I was proud to call my father without all of you guys having some little part in his life and his development. So thank you for the bottom of my heart. Thank you for giving my father that I got to celebrate for 30 years.
To God, this may be a difficult time, but God will sustain you. He will give you strength. And I want all of you to know today, this very day, 56 years ago, God, in his infinite wisdom, sent into our lives the most amazing and unique individual who would grace our lives as a husband, as a father, as an uncle, as a cousin, and an outstanding professional, and of course, as our dearly beloved little brother, Reginald. He was our baby. He was all of our baby. As a family, today we must all admire that our lives are made better and richer because God allowed Reginald to be born into our family. He was a baby of the brothers and sisters. for the brothers and sisters. But what an upstanding and an accomplished young man he became. We were blessed beyond measure. We were truly, truly blessed. I'm sure each of us in our quiet moment as we reflect on Reginald, and we affectionately call him Reggie, all but me, he reminds us of how we poured into his life, how we played a significant role in his life of our family as a whole, not as an individual, as a whole. He would agree when we describe our siblings, and I'm going to start with the oldest, Samuel, Mr. Professor, always so smart. He recognized how extraordinarily intelligent Reginald was. And then we have Thomas as the helper of the group, always willing to assist any of us, and Tom would be there. Then we have and collected. Nothing rattled him. The voice of reason. The family was always number one in his priority. And his family could attest to that. Then there was Pat. Was indeed our nurse and caretaker. She was like a second mom to Reginald. She always made sure he was taken care of and had everything he needed, because all he had to do was come to Pat. And then their little name, but he was Mr. Cool. He would turn it into a business. He was never afraid to take a chance or follow his dreams. And then there was Larry, Mr. Leader. He likes to take charge, but there's a plus there. He was the family baby until Reginald came along 10 years and some months later. But he stepped up in his role as the knee baby. And me, I was described as the teacher. I guess because I love to learn and always realize the value of a good education. I often felt like Reginald's teacher and tutor. He would send me some of his writings and I would critique it. He followed me around because he went to high school where I worked. So he made me so proud at Ribault Senior. And now Reginald has told us just recently, being the baby of the siblings, he felt he was a combination of all of us. He possessed a quiet and loving spirit and demeanor. He was highly intelligent, no doubt about that. Extremely successful, and yet such a humble spirit. I would have to agree that Reginald was a combination of all of us. All of us. His spirit will be with us. And now just a little over a month ago, this was in July, sisters, a very passionate message. He sent all of us a passionate message. Just for us alone, it was just for the 7 of us. None of us could have known or imagined that we would be shared this moment in time. His profound words will live with us forever. And I would like to take personal privilege to read just a snippet of his messages. This is what Reginald said. Good morning, my brothers and sisters. You all know I don't typically express myself, but this is a group who all helped raise me. His words. I always tell people that there is a little bit of all of you in me, which helped me navigate through everything I do in life. A large part of it is because of all of you. There is no amount of money, pride, or anger that would discount the love and sacrifice I am willing to make for any one of you on this text. What makes us a family is love. These are Reginald's words. I didn't make this up. Reginald's words will linger on forever in my heart. It's glued to my soul. The combination that he has put together is outstanding. Each one of us had a special, special part of him. Reginald is gone on with our parents, our brother William, which we affectionately call Mr. Cool. He has now left a legacy that the Peterson family shall love in their hearts forever. Forever. Spread the love. Forget about anything else. Reginald said it. I didn't make those words up. Reginald said it. So I want to thank you. I want you to know that I love my brother. I love my brother. And this is very difficult, but God got me up here to do strength, to show. So I just want to tell the whole family, Sherry, we love you. And we're going to be here for you.